Hello guys, Alberto BIGBOOST here. Today I'm going to finally be installing my Christmas present that Alan got me. He ended up getting me a SLR ULTRA ANGLE KIT. This is like the most aggressive angle kit you can get for a BMW. It's like super wide, so finally I won't have that big gap on my front wheels anymore. And then I'll be able to finally drift a lot easier with this since it has the best angle you can get. It also has this adjustable lollipops for the back, has extended outer tie rods. Everything is like super quality and everything is super nice. And it's sort of like the sandwich plates that go on the knuckle and then increase the angle. You can also adjust Ackerman over here, has a few adjustments for that as well. I'm tired of my car having this huge gap on the front wheels, and that ends today. I've already got the car set up on the lift. Now it's ready to go up so I can remove the front wheels and begin disassembling the stock suspension parts. The car's up in there, so I can finally remove the wheels. Again, check out the big wheel gap that I got going on over here. It's like my whole finger's width. The car's up in the air now. We need to remove the following: the outer tie rod, the lower ball joint. We need to remove the entire control arm, which that means removing this big nut over here for the inner ball joint on the lower control arm. And then we need to remove the rear bushing, which right now on this one I have the Camber Speed Shop solid lower control arm bushings, aka lollipops. And we also need to disconnect the sway bar. Here's a good shot of what it's gonna look like on the bottom stock, and then I can show you what it looks like with the SLR kit. The first thing I wanna remove is this ball joint here, which is a 22mm nut. I'm gonna go ahead and undo that one, loosen it up, and then move to the next. I found that a ratcheting wrench works the best for this. Good thing Adam has this nice set of up to 24mm on flexible ratcheting wrenches like this, so you can like get the angle properly where you need it and you can fit in tight spaces. After I undid the nut all the way up, I went ahead and used the same wrench and broke loose this nut that holds the tie rod in place. That way once you take the tie rod off from here, you can just spin it out. Now I can get the tie rod nut off. Get out of here and untwist the whole thing like this. Now I'm undoing the sway bar links. These are 13mm on both sides. The reason why I'm getting them off the actual bracket instead of getting the bracket of the lower control arm is because the SLR kit is already provided with the bracket that's like this and just mounts the bushing straight on it. And now it's time to remove this lower ball joint. Oh, I got more room now, look at that. This was the hardest part ever. To remove the lower ball joint, I ended up having to heat up this part with a torch and then use a pry bar between the knuckle and this base right here, and it came right off. I tried hitting with the hammer the normal way. You keep tapping on here with the hammer and it just comes off. It didn't work this time. So the fire and then the pry bar definitely worked, and it was a lot less effort to do that one. I got the lower ball joint off, tie rods are off, sway bar bushing is off. I undid the nut on this lower ball joint here, and then now I'm removing the rear bushings for the lower control arm. If this ball joint was hard, this one was even worse. I had to like heat it up and then try this one pried off. Then this one I ended up having to just like hit it on the side, and then it finally just broke loose after spraying it with WD-40 and stuff too. Now I'm going to begin the installation of the new parts. I'm gonna start with this main ball joint bolt that goes to the subframe. Literally take this nut off Put it on there, put the nut over, and then the lower control arm will bolt onto this. It has this part right here like this, and it interlocks. It's really nicely machined. So the ball joint goes here. This thin part goes against the ball joint. The thicker part goes to the nut. I've got the bolts over here like this. Now I'm going to take this lower part and put the lower control arm in place. I end up using this technique with a ratchet and a wrench on top, and then I'm gonna tighten this all the way snug. Alright, now that I got that snug, I'm gonna go ahead and torque it. This will go torque to 65 pounds. Alright, that part's done. Now comes the tricky part. I gotta install the knuckle piece. On this, it has a little shard that shims. I have a non-M3 E36, so I have to use 2 shims between the knuckle and the base. We have 3 over here. That means 2 will be between the knuckle and the piece, and then the other one will be on the bottom. I have the knuckle installed. It's just finger tight for now. So I got the big washer up here. Nut. This is gonna go to 81 pounds. And then I have the 2 washers over here and another small washer on the bottom. And then this is gonna go to 63 pounds. I made a little mistake installing this part. So you need to put the lower control arm and then tighten this too to squish it down, because if not, you can't hold this one and then torque the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and on this side put the lollipop part first. That way this is steady and it doesn't move around when I'm trying to tighten it up. Alright, now I got the lollipops installed. They were a little bit hard to get in, but I use a socket and a hammer and tap it in uniformly and get it to line up with the holes over here. Now at this point, I can finally torque down these. This is 81 and 63 pounds. The knuckle piece is installed untorqued. The last thing is just to remove the outer tie rod so I can put the middle piece that goes on the outer tie rod and connect it and align the car. The angle kit is installed. The last thing I got to do is just to put the sway bar bushings. After the kit being installed, now the last thing that I will need to do here is to adjust the camber all the way positive. SLR sells these adapters that bring the coilover even further out, but they were out of stock, so I don't have those yet. They will be sending those later on. I changed my camber from this to this all the way out, so I gotta do the other side too. Before I can install the wheels back on, I'm gonna put some Permatex anti-seize on the studs, and they're pretty dry. Every time they dry up, it's like you can like mess the threads up, so you apply some anti-seize to protect the threads and keep them from getting stuck. And also you're being able to apply the right amount of torque to the studs without breaking them. So apply a little bit like this with the brush. Don't put too much, just enough to like keep the stud lubricated. Then you put it on the tip, and then the knot will literally just drag it across the whole stud. Moment of truth, will it fit with this spacer, or will I have to take the spacer off? I'm kind of scared the car's gonna turn or hit the wide body all over with this. Only one way to find out, right? I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's see how close this gets. I mean, I think that's like good enough right there. Doesn't hit. What about the front though? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to like cut this out right here. It's hitting. I don't wanna go in reverse on here, might take off the bumper. And then I have to also trim this piece down here and inside the bumper as well. Now the question is, how much angle will I get? And then he goes to the other side. That's pretty good. Just did a quick alignment on the car. Got a little bit of toe out like I wanted. And then now my angle kit is fully installed. Here's like a little video of everything assembled. Let's see what this thing can do. Hit all the bumper. That's how much angle I got now. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this suspension at work. Now a quick little rundown of my suspension. I got SLR ULTRA E36 angle kit, BCBR coilovers, 8K springs in the front. Then on the back, I got BC custom coilover setup. This is a true coilover with 4K long springs. I got NERTEC upper adjustable control arms, NERTEC lower adjustable control arms, Condor speed shop differential bushings, subframe bushings, and trailer arm and subframe reinforcement plates. I also got the NERTEC aluminum ham joint R-tabs, E36 M3 6-bolt drive shaft, BMW CF M3 transmission. Engine is a M52 stroked out to 3 liters, so it's literally a USDM S50 with S52 cams. Exhaust is 3-inch all the way back. And then I got my own custom dual caliper setup using 2 stock E36 calipers. The wheels are conic hypergram 18 by 9.5 all the way around, plus 35. Then I got 80mm spacers on the back, so it makes it a -45. Then I have the front, which has a 35mm spacer, so it makes it 0 offset. Top it all off, the car is wrapped around Achilles 123 race tires, which is the same tires that we use on FD. Here's what it looked like before. Here's the after fitment after the angle kit installed. It's so wide, I ended up having to raise it about 1.5 inches more because it was all the way tucked into the fender. But it looks great. Now for the best part of all, to test drive the car and see if it actually works or breaks down. Made it home in one piece. The car drives perfect. The alignment is on point. I didn't get to do like a serious U-turn because there's a lot of traffic now at 5. But probably tomorrow I'll be able to do some like little figure eights and stuff and try out the car. It definitely looks on point now. Check out the front wheel fitment, is perfect. It's right on the fender. So is the back. So the car, all it needs is a wrap now, and then work on the interior, and it's done. I can't wait to like get this thing like all dialed up. I also want to get a wing too. I wonder what kind of wing should I put on it. Thank you, Adam, so much. I couldn't have a better Christmas gift. I never had such an awesome Christmas gift in my whole life. Thank you so much for making this happen. I'm so happy with the product now that I have on my car. And hopefully the next drift event, I'll be able to kill it with this and be able to not spin out and have fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow.